1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, this absolute banger of a Mudblood episode is brought to you, as always, by our friends at Manscaped.com. They are the absolute leaders in male grooming. You know what they do. You listen to us, we tell you every week. Manscaped is the best product on the market, bar none, for shaving your bollocks, your doots, and assorted areas, your dickory all sorts. And if you want a smooth doot this Christmas, you go on the manscaped.com, you type in that code MUDBLOOD, you get 20% off. That's good hygiene. You get the ball toner, the ball fucking deodorant, you get the ball shaver, you get a wee nose trimmer, you get some boxers in there too. It's great. Manscaped.com. Code MUDBLOOD. It's 20% off. You know the drill. We are contractually obliged to do this. That's why I'm doing it. I'm joking. They're fantastic. Manscaped.com. We're also sponsored by Hench Irish Whiskey. Absolutely fantastic whiskey. I'm a big whiskey drinker myself. Wouldn't sell you shite unless they paid me enough to sell you shite. But this isn't shite. It's absolutely delicious. Hench Irish Whiskey. Check it out and enjoy this fucking mental episode of the Mudblood podcast with returning favourite BRONAGH Diamond and first time guest, the legendary King Rory. Enjoy this week's episode, folks, and Merry Christmas.
Welcome to the Mudblood podcast. We have a bit of a holiday special this week. We have a full house, we have a crowded room, and what better way to spend the day than with our two special guests today. Matching in with my co-host, Mr. William Thompson, who's a special person in his own right.
I am always special.
Yes, so today we have BRONAGH Diamond.
Hello.
And we have the main man. And do you know what? I'm not going to introduce you, because you don't need much of an introduction.
No, that's true.
But I want you to say who you are, so the people know.
My name is RUARÍ McSorley, previously Frostbite Boy, and now future High King of all Ireland and Emperor of all Gaelic territory.
Absolutely brilliant.
You may laugh now.
That's the main thing about it all, and I think that's a message that Rory's trying to get out at the minute. I met Rory for the first time Tuesday night. He turned up at he didn't turn up. He was mistakenly dropped off at the comedian's Christmas dinner.
That's right.
And he came along for the night and ended up there the whole night, and we had a great night.
Didn't just get home until 4 o'clock yesterday.
So it was a great night. He didn't come back with me, but we'll not go into that.
It wasn't me either, in case you didn't want. They're just fucking raging. Raging this thing. I'm raging it didn't get going. Whenever I saw his photograph popping up in the group chat, I was like, fuck me, somebody brought Pablo Escobar.
I walked in and we had Rory there, and then we had another guy, and I was like, right, well, I sort of know who Rory is, but I don't know who the other guy is. And they says, no, he bought pizza. So there was a random fella that bought pizza, and I never got talking to him. He just sat there nice and quiet, but he just fed us all.
The hero
and then he
everybody
left,
needs.
and he looked like Thomas Clark from the movie Michael Collins.
The real Thomas Clark.
I says he looks like Thomas Clark, and I was like,
who's Thomas Clark?
he was one of the
rising men. You know, he was a long way Patrick Pearse and James
right.
Conley
So
and
he
them.
was a modern day hero. Now that's what you need to do if you're going to be the Taoiseach. No, not the Taoiseach.
Yes, the Taoiseach.
Taoiseach, yes.
Right, then you want to give everybody free pizza.
Free pizza. I just like Tom
Is
Clark.
it not? Is the president not?
Just like they did at the race that time, you know.
The Taoiseach or the Taoiseach?
No, the Taoiseach is the deputy.
Right.
You see, Taoiseach means chieftain in Irish. And, you know, so it would have been like the head of a clan or a sept that would have been the Taoiseach. And then Taoiseach is the Irish word for heir. So it would have meant like, no, if you'd had one person like Cahan, you know, would have been like over the Cahans, like the O'Keans.
Yeah.
No, then it would have been his eldest son would have been the Taoiseach. Do you know what I mean?
See the Taoiseach, right?
Yes.
Like,
Or as Protestants call it, William would call it Taoiseach.
Taoiseach. But no, the way say the Taoiseach is the Taoiseach isn't the president. The Taoiseach is
that's
the prime
is
minister.
that
No, right. So
Miggledy Higgins is the president.
no, that's the president. That's the head of state. What I'm talking about is head of government.
Oh, you want
it's
the head of
two
government.
different jobs.
Is president more ceremonial than legislative?
No, yes, it's not either. It's just a different sphere. It's just head of state.
The
Lords.
president can't really implement.
No, what the president would have to do is they would, whenever different bits of legislation, different laws would be looking to be passed, it would all go through the dial and then it would land on the president's desk, and they would have to guarantor the constitutionality of it. So which would mean they would just have to make sure, right, is this constitutional or is it not? You know, is it sort of like resenting human rights or things like that? And if everything's bona fide that way, it's not for the president to enforce their personal opinion on the matter. It's just, does this comply with the constitution or not? And if it does, they sign it on, and that's it.
Similar to the role like the king would have in England.
That's all it is.
So Rory was talking about he would say Conor McGregor for the president and him as Taoiseach. But if that doesn't work out, right? Well, can I throw my hat in the ring?
For president?
Yes.
Oh, I think you could be a great president.
I think I would. I
think you
I'm
would.
taller than Michael T. Higgins. Maybe not as grey looking as him, but I think I would be a great one.
That's what I always wondered. How does a man that wee pick up a dog shite that big?
Miggledy Higgins.
Do you know what? He's closer to it, so it's probably easier.
You might see the dog's like a big horse.
Oh God!
Here,
Rides
can I
around.
tell you something? I genuinely think this, right? I think he rides about the house on the back of the dog's back.
Oh, I think probably could. I like a wee Wayne.
No, like Labyrinth. Do you remember Labyrinth? The wee dog.
Yeah, the wee dog.
Just knows that.
What would
Everything about everything as it were.
I actually love Michael Higgins.
Your policy be?
right.
What would you want to get elected on? What would you say to people to try and get elected?
But as a president, you don't really have that.
Right,
Do you know what I
okay.
mean?
I have a complete revision for the position of president in the first place, right? I think there's a lot
Mr. Tato for president.
No. I think there's huge underutilised benefit in the concept of having a people's leader away from the government. Do you know, and this is where I think you do want a leader that's nothing to do with the laws and that. My idea for a president is to have somebody that's a social and cultural people's leader. So there's two different angles that I'd be going on with that. As first of all, somebody that can rally the troops whenever some of our own need is that type of way. Say if somebody in Carlow gets like the house burnt down, you'd have the president would come on the TV and say, right, no, our brothers in Carlow need us there, and then try to inspire that generous donation of time and service from the rest of the country.
See, I would be a type of president. I'm throwing the hat in here properly because I'm a joiner by trade. Like I fucking go and fucking.
Are you running for president, man?
Well, if Conor McGregor doesn't get in, why not? If Conor McGregor doesn't
What
get in,
you're saying is you want Conor McGregor to take his let's all go to Dublin and fight all the people that are coming in. Take that and maybe put it into some positivity.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
And say, let's go and build houses
Happy
instead
Christmas.
of doing that sort of shit.
But you see, the thing about it is, there's it's probably just he's annoyed about that or all the rest. But my thing about Conor was if there was an actual focus in the job and the way that I had envisioned refocusing the position of the president anyway, I think given the reach and given his publicity and all the rest, and his genuine love for Ireland
and his love for a few bags of focus as well. He's fond of that.
To be fair, I'm loving the new
that
look,
labels,
Rory.
is it?
I am.
Do you know? But
It
at
looks
the
like
same
Rory could sell you a few bags of Colombian.
Is it? Well, to be fair, I think we'll legalise that too. I think with or without my input, that's probably going to end up happening regardless. Do you know? To be fair, this generation's a lot more open-minded about things like sex, drugs, and rock and roll than dances. Do you know? So I think the drugs have been categorised and classified in terms of their actual use and their dangers and everything else for years anyway. So the way I see it is, look, does it not make more sense? A determined consumer is going to get drugs regardless anyway, so does it not make sense for somebody putting the effort into running a small corner shop to get the profit instead of these drug gangs turning up?
I agree with that.
And probably making more, just out of that.
That's the system in Portugal too. It is entirely legalised and all the money goes back into the government.
And it has had positive outcomes in Portugal, that's true.
Can you imagine that sending wee Paddy Oak down to his shop? Will you get us a carton of milk and
bag
a
of
quarter
Coke?
a gram of...
Get your nannies 4 or 5, keep it change.
What do they call the Bloody Mary?
It's a Lostmere. It's a crystal, but Lostmere.
Lost Mary's the fame. Get us 2 Lost Mary and get your granny a bag of Coke.
Well,
Get your nanny stomach golden brown.
What
she's
flavour
feeling
Coke do you
trippy.
want? No, but I get what you mean. Like if you go to Amsterdam, I remember years and years ago, you went to the rave. It was still illegal to have these But they would test it for you.
Yeah, because it was a bad one.
To make sure it was all safe.
Yes, but this is where both the regulation would come into, that you'd be able to make sure it wasn't just fucking talcum powder, and you'd be able, you would know what type of stuff exactly we're getting in terms of concentration and quality and safety.
We've seen it in other countries.
It would cut out all the gangs as well.
It would cut out the gangs and everything, but I mean, the fact that drugs is illegal, that's nothing to do with the safety or something. I mean, it'd be just the mafia sitting down with the lick of the government and just saying, just tell them any old shit, tell them it's a public health concern or some shit like that. That's why it's illegal. It's
your heart
to do with
rate
your
may
health.
be in the 200s, but your house will be fucking spotless. Can you imagine, like, on coke going,
I used to do that.
Now, I will say, one thing I will do in order to counteract the potential for exacerbation of addictions would be, if anybody lands on to the hospital with drink or drug related illnesses, then if they test positive for these drugs and that, then they're going to have to pay for the health care. In order to sort of counterbalance it with this sort of increased responsibility that way. So I think that's a good way to counterbalance that, to be fair, to sort of make sure there is more responsible use.
Yeah.
That would be my proposal to, get the balance in the transitionary period.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
See to do this, see to get in as Taoiseach, will you have to be elected?
You would. Now, this is the thing. Now, there's no party that would listen to me. And the fact that, Turkey's not going to vote for Christmas that way. I mean, there's the way that I would like the process to be reformed would be a direct vote for the election of Taoiseach.
Right.
For somebody to say, right, my name's RUARÍ, I want to be Taoiseach, these are my policies, this is what I'm going to do. These are the people that I am going to put into each individual ministerial position, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Finance, Minister of Infrastructure, and explain why you're putting each individual in, and then they would all have to go to individual debates, in terms of like finance debate and an infrastructure debate, and if you drill down into the nuances of what a government was going to actually do before the election, and also you would lay the pay package out, before the, so this is what I would have to do.
A mandate.
Yes, so you would have to basically say to people that you want, how much would your service effectively cost? So we could, you could...
But that's what they do in actual government.
In
and then
actual
they just
jobs.
lie,
But what
go in
I
and go,
said-
I know
Actual
what
jobs, I think you mean.
What they do, and that what I was saying the RUARÍ is, which is flawed in that system, is that somebody gets made Minister of Education, they know fuck all about it.
Yeah.
So they end up employing 1, 2, maybe 3 fucking advisors on it.
Yeah, and then you just have basically a whole network of committee blaming monkeys.
So
you're just
he's sort of saying, don't have that. Have like the leaders in each field.
Yes.
Well, that's a system similar to Germany.
Yeah.
So you can't serve as like the head of the health system unless you've been a doctor on a high level for at least 10 years.
Yeah. Well, you see, it's a wee bit hard to assert something like that.
It's hard to.
It's hard to assert that at a constitutional level. But this is the bit that I would do. I would also have a leadership college where you would have a specific course for Minister of Health that you would have to go through. Do you know what I mean? So, and also given the flexible pay package that you can pay somebody a couple of million and make it worth good people's while, you will get top quality people fighting over the job, given the personal benefits that's involved. So this is how you would be able to basically entice government service for the right people, so that somebody could say their ethical service to the government will be rewarded with the ability to grow their personal interests then. So it's clear to see what they're getting out of it, and you have more of a chance of a more determined and qualified approach from the people that's there. That's sort of the system
rather
I'm
than someone
promoting.
who's just opportunistic and trying to advance their career through a political post.
Can I propose that before you enter... Can I ask you this? If you ever do get to be Taoiseach? See, whenever you're making the rules and you're sorting out all your finance and you're saying what people have to get to live on, like on the benefit system. Okay? You, as a TD, have to live on that for 2 weeks on what the average person that's on the benefit system is.
That'd be fucking banging.
I'd love to see an MP live on fucking 130 quid a fortnight. Absolutely.
Well, you see, you sort of that old middle of the road thing of all these, they're not like mega rich, but as you say, they're not at that level either. They're just that political class. They're not even really. They are just a political class. They're not really middle class or working class. They're just this, But I mean, under my system, nobody would stay for decades either. Now, I'm not really going with that type of that sort of anti-wealth type of thing of, we are just so much the people, we don't want money, we don't like money and all the rest of it. This whole anti-wealth populism, which is just, artificial humility too. That's not really my angle.
Yeah.
My thing is sort of saying the job, the benefits of the job are so good, you can make yourself a multi-millionaire, but you're going to have to do a good job for the people in order to get those benefits. That's kind of my angle on how we're going.
Well, see, the other thing, the flawed part of it all that I would say is who, like, if you brought this around and everyone wanted it, how's it going to change? Because the government's not going to let you change it.
Okay, now, here's how you would do it. You have to assemble a provisional government. You have to get your individual ministers all gathered up, right? So you have to get your Minister of Education. You have to get your Minister of Finance. And what I've put onto my book is like a very clear description of the character and the credentials of each person that I would need for each of these jobs. Foreign Affairs, Social Protection, I've done the whole lot there, all right. So going round and assembling 20 people. Now, out of a population of 7 million and a diaspora of 45 million, I mean, I think people that went away and succeeded abroad, I think they
that's a massive thing here now. In Belfast, there's a lot of people in high jobs who are Catholics who left here to go and have that job elsewhere because it wasn't available to them.
The middle is the top at home. This is
So we do have a lot of people here now who are leaders in their field and have went away and done it elsewhere.
Command the waves, but command the waves somewhere else.
I think like there's a guy who's doing the town planning now for Belfast. Has lived in America, as far as I'm aware.
Yes.
For 20 years and was very successful, very nice back, and he has an idea of what Belfast should be. That's
and that's the type of drive. You see, the thing about home is you get so far and then you either just put up with a sort of stagnation or you leave. That's the
see when you get all these people, are they going to like walk into Parliament and then take over?
Right. This is
Is it like a raisin?
Yeah, okay. This is the complicated bit because there is no way.
This is why I could come in handy.
Okay. This is the bit. Right.
I can see me.
Okay. I have a plan for this, Paddy. What I'm saying is, now you need to get your 20 people, right? Or whatever amount. It's basically your Taoiseach, Taoiseach, etc. Okay, there's your cabinet, right? I would say if you were successful in assembling a cabinet of that calibre, the people would absolutely go for it. Now you're saying get those people and then get the electorate on side. Now you're right that my system is not the way it is, but what you would do then is form a temporary political party. We'd have to use the botched system to aim for a parliamentary majority at that stage. Aye. Do you know what I mean?
That's where I was wondering what you're going to do.
But
they're going to block it. They're going to block it.
No, well, not
the government. Whoever the government is, they're going to block it. They're going to try and.
But you see this way. The like of Mary Lou and Varadkar and Micheál Martin. They're never going to sit down with me or anybody, even if it's what the people want, for a referendum on a direct vote for Taoiseach. Because if they had to qualify their leadership ability to the people for ratification, none of them would have the job. And if I'm looking to destroy the consent of uselessness, I mean, that's basically sending them into extinction, and all who had planned to share their attitude would never emerge in the first place.
Would you worry a wee bit about parties like that having a lot of backup?
I would. Well. At the same time, what do you mean?
I'm
from the people.
I'm saying, would they have supporters that maybe would knock your door in the middle of the night to have a word with you?
Would you be worried about the likes of a certain family that controls a lot of the drugs in the south?
Does it follow you?
Knocking on your door and saying, you're not fucking legalising drugs because we cornered the market there.
Well, there could be an element of that, all right, but you just have to lay out what's right and see how.
I think you need to get a bit of an army behind you.
I think we do, but I mean, I don't think I can't imagine any of that really. I can't imagine it getting to that type of point until you would have your actual provisional government there in the first place.
Who would check you, right? Because at the minute, I love it because it sounds like idealism, but actually it sounds like the way things should go. You should be qualified, but who would check you? Like, would it be your ma? Do you know the way, like, Hitler and getting Hitler...
Listen, I'm phoning Rory's ma here. He's not living up to expectations.
1940s, Hitler was like, we must hold our nose and go through the Reichstag. I mean, so you don't want to be going, no, we'll have to go through there and we'll defeat them that way. Who would kick your ass if you became, like, a dictator? Who would you answer to?
I'm not looking to be a dictator. What I'm saying is there would be we wouldn't need a body or a leader over me or anything else. Now, the thing, like we were talking
I'd
about...
get your granny with a big
with
wooden spoon.
the thing about the president, right? The president would still guarantor the constitutionality of the laws you would bring in, right? So that would happen. But there would be a much... Although I'm talking about much more power being concentrated within the executive, you are looking to couple that with higher scrutiny, and how I'm looking to do that, a very new way of doing this, is volatile mandate. So what that means is there's... you can stay for 40 years or be through out after a week if you would cast your vote by recorded ballot. So what that would mean is you'd have a copy, right? I voted for King RUARÍ, right? And then after that, if I didn't live up to your expectations, or one of my ministers didn't live up to your expectations, you can go to your TD and say, right, I want to withdraw my support now from the government.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
So if you get if enough people withdraw their support,
then the president, as a neutral third party, would have to call an election, and you'd be going the following day. So it would increase the core responsiveness of government. It would just be a direct link between people and government. There would be no body that they could hide behind. There would be no loopholes for them to go. You would just be leader and country. That'd be it. Do you know what I mean?
So there's none of this. Look, we're in for 4 years. You may just fucking
exactly. But that can't happen.
Yeah.
There would be a window every 5 years that you would have to open an election. Yeah. But you could go at any time.
It could still, but that could be extremely counterproductive for a government to lay out their plans. Like, you could lay them out, but to follow through the plans, if you can be removed at any minute, it could be difficult for anyone to come in and really make that change.
Yes, I do. I absolutely appreciate that about how it could risk the stability. Now, I have a different plan for how ideological splits should not be as present in the country generally, and shouldn't lead to the same level of disintegrations, over like personality clashes and things like that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, given the enhanced focus on like core pragmatism, just taking a like pragmatic approach, if you truly looked and forgot about all this left and right shite, and you just says, what is the best way to make farming in Ireland as strong and as good as it can? What's the best way to make our finance sector as good and as strong as it can? And if you were just truly taking that approach, it would just be a case of voting in one good government or another good government. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be so. A change of an individual leader shouldn't really risk the stability, given the way that it would be set up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you in an ideal circumstance, you would eradicate left and right ideology and just focus on who wants to make the system better.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I have different ways in how we're going to get the public and private sector to collaborate, so that there's not really that left and right conflict.
Yeah.
So what I'm looking to do is the investment and growth fund, which would be all these public servants would get a certain amount extra onto their pay. So you might start off, if you're the first year as a nurse, you might get another, we'll just say 2,000, right? But you would have to invest that into like an emergent entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Do you know? So you'd have to put it into somebody who wants to set up a shop or a mechanic or a bar or like a band or whatever. And it's completely open. You can ask for whatever you want. And if you need 10,000 and you get 5 nurses on side, and then you say, right, I'll pay you back £3,000. And then these nurses prove that they're able to make good decisions that leads to economic stimulation and stimulation of innovation. Well, then you're able to put their pay up even more the following year, because it's given them a bit of autonomy over their financial destiny, which they don't have.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't be at war with the private service. Plus the fact then it could lead to a better attitude in the running of the public services, because then they have a more motivated approach if they see their job as a gateway to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
So this is what I'm saying. You wouldn't really have this left and right thing, because we'd all be rising together. And we'd all be working at this.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Here's what I'm saying.
100%. Here's a question you're going to get asked.
Right.
Would it be a 26 county Ireland or a 32 county Ireland?
Well, 32. Well, you see, this is where the opportunity for all these reforms are coming in.
Yeah. Because
I'm saying, right, if we're going into Irish unity, which it is inevitable at some point, is that, I mean, I think it's going to happen. I just don't think the country we end up with is going to be all that better. Mm-hmm. So where I'm coming in is laying out a creative vision. This is how it can all work better, and then say, right, no, here it is. You need a strong visionary leader to make something like that work. Mm-hmm. And then, if the right conditions are met, then I can go for it then. Because even if we copied and pasted all of the words from the current constitution it would still have to go into a new document for a new United State of All Ireland.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what I'm
Because
saying.
that one's a 26 county one anyway.
Yes,
Do you know, get that? Yeah.
and it's 86 years old. Do you know? So at the same time, I mean, given the technology and developments and a pile of things, there's definitely opportunity to. I mean, the chance to redo a constitution in a time of peace is very rare and unique for any country.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So this is where these massive reforms, we would have the chance to make them happen under the right leader. So for this, I want to volunteer myself.
And I wanna give you a suggestion, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but you're gonna have to wear a different colour than green.
Why?
Well, if it's a New Ireland, you're gonna have to welcome his fucking people in, and they don't like green.
Right, I have a solution for that too.
Right.
Right, now, anglicisation of Ireland is not the right answer.
No, not one bit.
No, but and neither is, like a dilution on the unionist side either of their Britishness that way. So there is a way that we can divorce cultural politics from government politics. Here's my solution, right? I want to take Minister of Arts, Culture and Gaeltacht in the south, as well as half of Minister of Culture in the north, and combine it with President of Ireland. So somebody is directly elected to give the best cultural leadership for the Irish culture.
You're selling this job to me. Like, I can see myself.
I can sort of see you too.
I'm telling you, I played the Lisburn First Blues Club the other night. Like,
Paddy for
that's the
president.
second year in a row.
What do you think?
Paddy and William. I reckon it could be
Second
a
year in a
Mudblood
row.
presidency.
No, you see, and that's the other thing. Then we're going to create a president of unionism.
Right, so
I've moved by this point. I'm in the street.
You're way
He's
back.
already-
Yeah, I'm going to the street.
Why Australia?
I'm joking.
Why Australia?
That's the opposite of brain drain.
I was on Australia a couple of
Well, do
years
you know
ago.
what? Do you know what? I've been listening to you. I don't think it's a mad pie in the sky idea you've had when you're sitting in the house. I think you have genuinely thought about it.
Oh, I have.
And I can see that you're sort of in it, and you sort of have the answers. But I'm not politically
No, no.
qualified to be the one sitting asking questions. I'm just asking you as a normal sort
Of course, no.
working class man that's going to say, well, what about this and what about that and what about this? And
Oh no, but I mean that's it. I mean I'm going around everybody. I've been going around all these different places in Ireland. I've been in Limerick and Tipperary and Belfast and Tyrone and Dublin and all the rest. I mean you get around everybody there of all classes and breeds and creeds and all the rest. But as you say, you have to
but
look at the
it's the
objections for
ordinary,
everybody.
it's the ordinary people that you have to,
Of course.
without sort of being too complicated with it, you have to say, no, this is how it will benefit you and this is what it is.
Well, what do you
And
think of
I think that's where you hit home with people.
Aye.
You know, where it has to be, because like, you could be giving something to a farmer, which will have a bad effect on somebody else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
aye.
And what do you do there? Like, there's nothing
Aye, but
you can do.
You see, this is where the way that I would restructure the government would, sort of insist on that interdepartmental coordination in the sense that, they have to coordinate with each other. These environmental people couldn't be so mad in terms of, end cow shit now and all of this crack. They'd have to...
No, get it. But I mean, what if you have a man from Tipperary that has this great idea about solar farms, but he needs to get all the farming land in fucking County Cavan to do it? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, right, where do you meet in the middle sort of things?
Well, that's where, whenever you have these experts that are coming in each individual field, but they all have to take a balanced and coordinated approach, well, then you're more likely to get that. See, that's part of that is down to the way the government's laid out. If you're forcing people to be middle of the road, you're going to end up with extremity.
Yeah.
So you just have people that stand for one singular thing, like these green parties. No, you wouldn't need them bastards. You would just get the. you would just have.
You wouldn't belong getting sunburned if you don't do something about it.
It's just a one person that stands for the environment that knows what they're talking about, but they have to be reasonable with the farmers and with the environment and
well, look,
the economy.
It's obviously a big thing. I don't know too much about it. I know like that there's freezing cows and there's roasting cows. No, there's freezing cows and there's dairy cows. And in certain parts of this country, they're called London dairy cows.
Tell me this. I'm so sorry, to be the one to ask.
Wow.
But see, whenever that didn't belong, you wouldn't belong getting frostbite, right? I spent many's a happy hour just watching the remixes, people going dun 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 frostbite. And did that piss you off after? Were you annoyed?
No, I didn't feel hard done by it. Was what it was. You could be new for worse.
Do you know what?
I give you a platform,
It was probably
you were
wouldn't
a
be here if it wasn't
legend.
for
You
it.
still are a
But
legend.
that's what I mean. You have to have something in your life that puts you down a certain path.
Aye.
And that was yours.
That
Now,
was.
here's what I'm going to ask you, right? this is what I was told happened.
Right.
And I do a wee bit of like paddy facts and stuff, but I've never come out and said this because it's never been fact checked, right? Mm-hmm.
None of them ever have.
No, they have. They actually fucking have, and we do. Yeah, no. When there's actual, hold on. When there's actual professors in university that come out and go, this man actually is fucking telling the truth here, and have papers on it, I think that sort of gives you a bit of credentials and people laugh at you. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things I said was people in Ireland were fucking tall. Right. They were famously tall back in the day, and that's why they were used by the Englishmen. Well, and parts of Kerry, there was people who were 7 foot tall. It tended to be Kerry was the biggest fucking people in Ireland, right? But the famine fucked us all up, and that's why we became small.
Still not over it.
Malnutrition.
Right?
True.
So I came out and I said that was all to do with malnutrition, and then it went on generations, and then there's a lot of arthritis and gout and stuff like that, and people's like, well, where did that come from? And we have more of it than any other place in the world. We have an eye condition that no other country has.
Chest problems as well.
Yeah.
And they all come from interbreeding, because after the famine there was fucking less of a pull.
That's true.
It's not, I'm not saying that we're bad people, I'm just saying that's the position we're put into.
We're sicker than a bus to lords.
So, but I was told, right, and this was the story I was told about your situation,
Right.
that you had done work experience in UTV,
That was true.
and that this was all set up,
It wasn't set up. I did do work experience in UTV.
right?
But it did just happen on that day.
But did you know they were coming?
No. It did just, I'd never met Gareth or anything before. It did just happen.
Right, okay.
But you are right, I did. I'll tell you exactly what happened there. I had wanted to be like a presenter. That was true enough.
Yes.
Now, we had to go somewhere for work
I know
experience.
what happened here. You want to be a presenter, and you went in and went, you see your man Paul Clark, you see, and Jerry Kelly, you see, they're not doing their job proper. So if you have me in,
To just throw them out.
For Jerry Kelly. You're going for the other Jerry Kelly?
One for the other Jerry's job.
Jerry Kelly on the sofa. And all I'd say is, after Rui done fucking work experience, Jerry Kelly's show went to dog.
It might be a coincidence.
So what happened from your perspective? What happened? How did that come about?
That was I'll just pick up on what he says. That was, I had done work experience. It was a notion that I had have been like a presenter then. You know, this was before sort of YouTube and things sort of blew up and that, you know, and people just sort of went and done it on their own. This was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago. Like, I mean, even back then, I suppose mainstream TV at least existed still. Like,
yeah.
But so I had to go somewhere for work experience for schools. That's where I went to, was UTV. And then I remember I was sitting in Julian's chair then as well. Then I was sitting, like, they were just showing us all around. Is
that what you call it? Well, hear what happened tonight.
That's the only one vibrating in the office.
I don't stay there for that long.
So you went for work experience, right?
Right, so we were sitting in the continuity chair anyway, and then we just... So basically, I remember I had actually made, like, I must send it to you, I had made like a video about 4 months before, and there was like a video of me, like just with the UTV background and that, and then I was like just doing my thing then, and then I put it up on Facebook then.
Okay.
And then the boss and UTV had called me in and says, "Oh, you see that video we gave you yesterday? I'd like you to burn it, please." And then I says, "What, you want me to burn you in a copy? So that's no bother." And he just says, "I ain't smiling sunshine."
Really?
And then he just says, and then it had to go down. So I mean, I had been in UTV and they knew who I was. I was maybe 4 or 5 months before.
What was in the video that you put
It
up?
was just me sitting in the continuity chair, and then I just started, ramble off, pretending that I was, continuity presenter, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I thought, geez,
and
maybe I'll be getting a job out of it.
Take it down.
Aye. and then this is that nobody from the school was ever going to get to UTV again.
Yeah. Oh, bless. So you ruined it for everyone.
So that did happen, but then that just happened a few months later by completely randomly then.
Get away.
And then I was
Is that where you got the bus to school, like, genuinely?
So no, that's where I'm from, Park.
Right.
And here, tell me this, why weren't you wearing big socks? You're not frozen that day, you'd be ankles.
I never. I
think you were wearing
was always wild underdressed
socks.
for the cold, like.
Aye.
You have to toughen yourselves up a bit.
Country boys are.
Aye.
Country boys definitely are. Like, he's walking about in a t-shirt and a fucking
That would be making about like a wife.
What I loved about it was the plastic bag.
The wee plastic, what was in the plastic bag?
That's the lunchbox.
Was that your wee lunch?
What was the lunch at?
What did you have your lunch at?
No, it was just a win of papers that day for like a test or something.
Right, okay.
Right, yes. So you were, and you still went in.
But but every day, you see what I tell you, even to this day, I've
use the bag?
No, I've one arm longer than the other because I used to go about it. Normally it was a far bigger shopping bag. I used to take the
Oh, listen, I've one arm longer than the other one. Well, stronger than the other one.
I used to.
That was a bag for life.
I used to take like a big bag for life, then with a big pile of books and all. Then, but it's your luck.
I did.
You do too. You must be the same.
Watch it. You can make it longer.
But I got sofa straight, look.
I feel you.
Do you know if you put your hand over your face?
Oh, I heard about that.
Don't him.
Do you remember once, kid?
How big her face you've
And you're
got.
like, what?
Cancer. My cousin said that to my granddad, and he did have cancer. He went, Granddad, do you know if you put your hand up over your face and it's bigger than your face, you have cancer? My granddad
He
just
just starts crying.
I don't need to do that test, son.
So that happens and that blows up. It's not just like it was big here, it was massive
Everywhere.
in America. It was all over, wasn't it? Vine at the time was massive. All over that. Mm-hmm. So did you end up getting offers for jobs for like TV shows?
Done BT work and stuff.
I've done a pile of advertisements and things like that.
Oh, I saw your song. You did She's the girl for me.
Because I know Kirsten, who's in the video.
Do you know Kirsten?
Yes. So how did that come about? I love that song stuck in my head.
Take me down to the
Pharaoh
Pharaoh
City, I'm a country boy, you see. How'd that come about?
It was a man in Belfast. It was Andy Gray. He had asked me then would I do it then. Just there was a girl in his drama class had a brain tumour then, and he was like making this like CD with a pile of original records then.
Yes.
Then he just invited me in to do that, and sure we went for
You
it
got
then.
the bump and grind with some
And
hot
then we
chicks.
got we got the song all done, and then that was just basically what happened then.
I love. Do you know? Have you seen that song?
It's a man.
It's so catchy.
I
I'll
show it to you.
it. It's fucking.
No, I've seen it.
It's good. Oh, you did see it.
You can burn that one. But listen, music's everybody's teacher. So
I like
like,
it.
You have your bag hand, Rory, so that's why.
The left eye.
did you not start holding the bag in your hand to even things up?
Did you never get a school bag?
Are we still talking about a plastic bag here?
He's obsessed with this bag.
Yeah.
Did you you see that spare bag from my original interview?
Have you still got it?
No, I framed it.
Did you?
Like with the newspaper articles from the time, I've like the spare bag and then the trainer socks as well.
Right.
I've the.
Why did you have the socks over the shoes?
No. But I was one thing I was talking about. Then they says, why? You know what? Like they were just asking me, as you says, why have you not a big coat on you? And I was like, oh no, I know, I'm just wearing trainer socks there. That the mother
that
got
was
me
it.
there. So then.
The mother, that's right.
So I just got the socks and the spare bag then, and then all these newspaper articles I have it framed up in the house.
Brilliant. It's like,
But it was massive. I remember the day that it went out, and I remember watching it and going, "What the fuck was that? That was hilarious."
I thought
It was-
if
like,
he's
there
done
was-
that on purpose, he's a comedy genius. Like if he has, or he's just
Well,
fucking
I think a
funny.
lot of people did think that at the time.
Yeah.
Then what happened was the thought then genuinely you would just go into that side of things, you know, with the advertisements and stuff like that.
Aye.
And then
Like it was a
obviously
caricature.
There was do you know what? There was different options for me to go at that time, but at the same time, I did make the decision to say, right, do you know what's going to happen here? You're going to go for about 4 years or so, and after that, you're just going to blow yourself out with no hope of a relaunch at all. Do you know what I mean? Because that's too random that type of way to be able to grow up like a proper
Audience from
brand,
that, yeah,
proper
yeah.
brand that type of way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas if you want something that's going to give you that type of longevity,
Sustainability, yeah.
do you know, then you sort of need to have a clearer idea of, do you know, exactly where you're going, exactly what the market is. Do you know all of the different?
But you know what? This was before TikTok and
It
the
was.
fucking swipe nation.
Aye.
Like, it would have just got the stage people's like,
Aye, no, that's true.
But
Yeah.
it was Vine, which was the original kind
no,
of
I
TikTok,
get that,
so
but it wasn't swipe. There wasn't that much on it. There
was
wasn't
generally.
Vines were fucking everywhere.
No, but
I
Willie,
did
it's
go everywhere, I know that, but it
the
wasn't.
culture now, even with our clips,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't want to watch anything over 30 seconds.
I know.
Do you get what I mean? And then
Aye.
once, and you see your numbers, like your numbers go up, but they do slow down after a period of time.
They do.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So, and that's where he's coming
No,
from.
so see, you need, and do you know what I'm saying is now, I mean, this is partly why I think people are not too sure if I'm serious. Well, everybody thinks it's a joke about these political ideas and that. But, you know, basically what I'm saying is now that, right, I'm leaving my political plan out there. I've wrote a book, it should be out now soon. And I'm just waiting on a cover designer, but I've it all right, so I'll just upload it onto Amazon now soon. So basically, I'll leave that out. I'll leave my commitment to serve. That's all sitting there. But then go for my own podcast then, you know, just sort of have that mix of, you know, between entertainment and politics then. And then, you know, through growing the brand in whichever direction it would end up going, then I would, you know, sort of put a pile of spin-off businesses of my own in that. I know I wouldn't be too well kitted out for the mainstream. I don't think they'd let me in Hollyoaks or EastEnders or whatever.
But I'd love to see that.
You know what?
I'd watch
I could
it.
see you in Emmerdale.
Could you?
Yeah. Do you know what I think it is?
There's no reason you couldn't do a show of your own.
Yeah, of course, like definitely, and I think you're a lovely guy. Like I really do wish you the best. Do you know what I think it is? It's the country accent. Because have you always sounded like? Do you know them wee kids?
Aye.
Do you know that wee kid that goes, "I'm away up to see the John Deere here, and I have my packet of that'll keep me quiet. I have my packet of biscuits," and he's only about 5, and he sounds like an old lad.
It's like wee Seamus that was on the toy show there.
Oh, say no, he's from Clare. I seen him on with the two
Jamie, and
Johnnies.
he's on everything now. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So it's sort of like
Wee
that.
boy with a mullet.
The wee mo-
Aye,
but
aye,
it's
good wee
like
lad.
let's see where Shamey goes in the next couple of years. Let's
Aye.
hope it doesn't destroy Shamey for who he is.
no, I
Would
don't
that be
think so.
you go into like a chat show? Would you ever like to do that? Yeah.
Did you know
Were you coming for Tuberty's show before
Yeah.
Kilty got it?
Again, as I said, like, I'm not sure. You could go on something like that for a gear spot. You could get on with Paddy Kilty for a night, and the crack would be good and all the rest.
Yes.
But they wouldn't give me Kilty's job. I'd be far too do you know, there would just be, right, in theory, as you say, you'd love to see it.
Yeah.
But that's not how them things operate.
No.
There would be a gallery of people absolutely shutting themselves. What does that man going to come out with next then?
Yeah,
you know.
you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. Before you know it, you're not you.
I would hate it.
Yeah.
No, well, it wouldn't get to that point. I'd just, you know, I would just say it would be the beginning of the end by about day 3, and then just. And plus and do you know what the problem?
Burn that tape.
And do you know what the problem with that would be as well? They would it would be the team that would just give you the guests, and you would have to be excited about everybody.
Yes.
Whereas if I thought you were shite, I would just, you know, I couldn't be interviewing all these Z-listers about it now, you know,
Yeah.
some book that nobody wants to read then that type of way. So what I'm saying is, if you
We don't mind it, like we think it's great.
think it's great how everybody wants to read my book, what do you say?
I reckon they will. I have
Well,
a funny feeling like the jury. Yeah.
Right. What was the crack with all the dolphins and all? What happened that time?
That's just a warm up for what's about to come. That's train for the heavyweight and then enter the featherweight. I was on the
What are
water.
you going to do? You going to fucking swim with whales next?
No, but I was on the water for 14 hours. I swam over to this lighthouse, and then it was just after I had rewritten the Constitution and all, whenever I was living down in Kerry, and then I just swam over to this lighthouse. Then I says, right, no, I just, you know, if you focus on the goal, the process becomes routine. And then you just got over to this lighthouse then, and I was there for about 20 minutes. I was giving like all my political speeches.
Oh, get
over
away.
in the lighthouse then, out to the wanton waves. It's all, well, after hundreds of years of the constitutional question, Thomas here, yes, we are free. All of us out to the wind and waves, and then jump back in the water to swim home. I had seen all these helicopters flying over my head during the day. No fucking clue that they were out looking for me.
Oh, get
And then after the 14 hours, then the Coast Guard just picked me up then.
Are you
Really?
swimming?
Aye.
Were you not in trouble or anything?
I was still swimming.
I'm about to say, you alright, Rory?
It's just,
Like, I'm grand.
pretty much, aye. And then they says, you all right there now? I says, oh, Grant, I'll not have to pay for this, will I? And then
Is this
I'm not
taxi
under
free?
the influence of
Is this
drink or
taxi
drugs.
free?
and then the Kerry men in the boat then in the RNLA they were having a joke with me, and they says, yes, we have a credit card machine out here. And then I says, oh Jesus, you may throw me back in the water then.
Did you need their help or could you made it back to shore?
Who's going to know? There's there's nobody to say. Right.
Were you struggling?
Well, obviously the body temperature was well down, and all the rest of it. But at the same mentally,
Aye.
like I wasn't like I'm about to die.
Really?
I wasn't.
You
Now
were
that's
still
not to say it wouldn't have happened.
Ah, right.
Do you know? Like
So it was dangerous, like, yeah.
oh, aye.
You-
But
so
you know,
mentally, you didn't think you were going
I
to
know.
die.
Yes.
You
I
just
love it.
actually were.
I love
I don't believe so.
A
Hey?
lot of people seeing you now. Mm-hmm. So you went away this wee fresh-faced boy.
I know.
And now you've come back like Tom Hanks and fucking...
You were like,
Tom Hanks.
I have
Tom
to say,
Hanks
he's
in
very
Castaway.
handsome.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah, and the curls and all. The curls going on. Like,
That's natural.
That's not.
I can
is.
picture you like, doing your speech in front of water like the Irish Poseidon. Like,
Absolutely, Irish Poseidon. Love it there.
Were you just speaking from the lighthouse? The sermon to the lighthouse? The nothing? The dolphin?
I was doing my election victory speech. I was doing my election speech after I get all of my new system of government. I done the United Ireland speech. I was just out talking away to the wind and waves there.
I love you. I love you.
your denial speech when the sexual
love him.
allegations.
Hey,
Your denial speech when the allegations come.
you're right. I need to think about that one. It is going to happen. You're right. No, but you see, you've given my proposals to give people that longer list of options for family and relationships. Those type of situations shouldn't end up happening to the same extent. But in terms of me getting there in the first place, I'd say there's a high likelihood of going in the same and going in the busway.
Rory, what do
What
your
did you
mummy
say?
and your daddy think? What do your ma and your dad think like about
What
it
did
all?
you
Are
say
they
there?
supportive?
Oh, there. Hey.
I didn't hear what Sean says. What did you say?
He says I need to write my denial speech for false accusations of rape and things.
It's like most of these politicians, like it's just... Well,
But
Where am I right now?
the Prime Minister of England...
Liam Crow.
The Prime Minister of
I do
England,
feel like I'm
he had fucking had sex with a pig's head.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton had sex with an aide.
with the maid.
Yeah.
No. Aide? No, she
No,
was
no,
an
no.
aide.
Oh, she was. He says, I did not have sex for that woman.
And then a couple of weeks later, he's like,
Relations.
you know what, I might have let her smoke my cigar.
He was. Look, at the end of the day, monogamy is not something I'd be trying to force on somebody. The way I look at it, love is not a finite resource. Just because I love woman B doesn't mean I don't love woman A. I says just, let people be more honest about that.
Maybe you can let the women be.
Right.
They can be too. eh?
Would you be bringing women in to show them the doll at night time?
Aye. Well, sure. Well, I'll be my apartment above the dial.
Oh, right. So the T-shirt.
Do you want to come and see my spar bag?
But I would have them all out and show. I mean, I'll have to get on to the Commission of Public Works and actually have a balcony built over Leinster House to give me, just to give me speeches out to the people. Couldn't
Yeah.
get better visibility than that, me and all the
Well,
Queens.
it's going to get to the stage maybe at that there'll be big screens around everywhere.
Oh,
so when
aye.
you're giving the speech, like people see it everywhere.
That might sound mad, but at the same time, it can't be any clearer. I mean, and more having a great visible leader. Is something that you really do need. I'm not
Like
gonna,
a Truman show, only the Taoiseach, like it's like
Well, that's what I'm
day
thinking.
22 in the Taoiseach's apartment. Rory's had 2 wanks this morning and a round of toast, you know what I mean? But I mean, is it hard open of a thing? Is it going to be?
Yeah, that's well. That you're acting out, Big Brother. That's one program I could never get a handle of as to why it was
But
so
it just
popular.
made it.
But in the sense
the way
that,
you're saying it's an open Taoiseach, like
Yeah.
hard open.
What do you mean by open?
Would the
Just like-
Taoiseach have any private things himself?
Well, of course you'd have your private life, but at the same time, in terms of opening up, like in terms of being such a clear leader, you wouldn't be able to hide behind parties, you wouldn't be able to hide behind boards.
No,
and
but that's
committees
what I
and
mean.
Yes, so, and in the sense that in terms of opening it up beyond Ireland, I mean, given the, how epic it would be to organise that type of transformative change, I think that story in itself would have a market to be promoted to an international crowd. So, I mean, in terms of getting something like Netflix or whatever going, as it would happen then, that's something that I would definitely like to do then.
Netflix special.
Absolutely. Taoiseach
Taoiseach.
McSorley. August Uachtaráin McGregor. Oh, Paddy, that's right. Oh, that's
Paddy.
right. We sacked him.
Yeah, we sacked him.
We're
Paddy the
yeah.
Dagger.
Paddy the Dagger. So, President the Dagger, or is it President what?
No, Paddy the Dagger. We'll just...
But what for President Padraig the Dagger?
Padraig
the Dagger.
Padraig Mac
Uachtaráin
Dagger.
Padraig.
That makes you sound like a mythical warrior.
what
It's
is-
just because you have a tattoo in your
No, but you see, I'm but see, I'm looking to go for, as the inaugural occupant holder of this new revised position of Taoiseach, I'm looking to go for King Ruairi the Great. So you need a something.
He's a very
Paddy
humble
the
man.
Dagger.
Dagger, so Padraig the Dagger.
Padraig and Dagger.
So
Ken Gallagher Dagger.
a dagger, aye, Ciara Gallagher Dagger. Skean.
Skean.
See, the thing about Irish is...
Paddy and Skean.
No, Padraig and
Skean.
Skean. Padraig and Skean.
That's a fucking serious
He's
name.
turned himself on here.
Shindach Regda.
On the
Shindach
dagger
Regda.
I don't know what anyone said.
Padraig and Skean, that would mean like Patrick the knife or the dagger.
Right, okay.
See, the thing about Irish is it's not as flurry as English. You
Yes,
know,
it
so
doesn't just...
Yes, so...
It doesn't just directly translate.
Aye.
Okay, so-
No,
right,
like,
okay.
say in English where there's like 20 words for one thing, in Irish, there's just going to be one.
But Irish is very poetic. I think Irish is much more flowery.
But it's because it's more concise.
Yeah.
Do you know?
You know, the
The
meaning.
flirtiness is and the conciseness.
Yeah, like when we were talking about whenever somebody dies in Irish and you say like
He got death. Fur she was.
Death
first
came
name-
on him.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
Shut up. just the guy with the big suit.
That was death, didn't
It's like, you could have just came and got me, not came on me.
I'm pregnant.
Pregnant is on her.
Yeah, pregnancy is
Aye.
on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, she Tashi Gumper na Clinia, she's carrying the family.
No,
Yeah.
she's carrying
it?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
lovely,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it is.
Yeah.
No, that's
Or
right.
like whenever
the
you're
name-
like,
the name-
instead of saying
We'll
I'm
have to get that name up. I
I like it too. Padraig and Skean. Right,
Padraig
no,
and
that's
Skean.
good. No, but that would be a hit for somebody. Do you know?
Yeah.
No, Padraig and Skean, August, Ruairi and Intach.
Henry.
And Ray, no, and
Ray
Head.
and that.
So it would be and Head Taoiseach August Ardrey Ruairi.
Aye.
I think the
Do
you know?
about
Yes.
And then
So you're going back to the chieftains then, the Ardrey.
Do you know?
Ardrey, High
Yeah.
King.
So do you know? So I'm just thinking, right? You had kings in Ireland before the Normans come. So I'm going into a new Ireland. I mean, I think it's entirely appropriate to have a strong Gaelic king leading the country from here on in.
Can I just say, Tá ag Shasula.
Oh, my
I'm with you
lord.
all the way. Mm-hmm.
Gate from gate.
I like it a lot.
Ah, no.
I think
William's feeling left
you've
out.
won my vote.
Absolutely.
Honestly, his song's just playing in my head.
It's
the whole
still-
time, yeah. The mother weeks me in the morning. That's what's going on in my head.
Sometimes I don't even. Sometimes I can't even mind the words of it myself.
You know them off by heart.
I do. It was a good tune.
catchy
It was
fucking
catchy.
song.
There's no two ways about it. That's the two Johnnies was asking me about that. They say it's too catchy for their lick, and I says it's nearly like my relationship with the sash. It always just gets stuck in your head.
Were you drinking the other night?
Aye.
I can't remember if you were now.
Was it a messy
Was
one?
it singing the sash? Was it? Must have been drunk.
No, you weren't. But I'm just saying, I can't remember.
It
Like
is old.
there was a stage of the night I can't remember anymore.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh well.
It was
got
one
to
of
that
them
point
ones I
too.
get up the next day and I went. I was playing Spin the Battle by Rory McSorley in the fucking Crown Bar.
You were. That's right.
And I went, did that happen?
You did.
Yeah.
Did that happen? So it's a paddy fact. Like, that
Yeah.
happened.
That did happen. No, that did happen. All right.
I
So
saw
I-
we observed all the dares.
Yeah.
Can I see, since this is kind of like crossover, can I give you a word that I think really describes that night that you had that I missed out on? Crapulous, right? Crapulous is a word that means to be absolutely shit-faced, like really, really drunk.
Do you know, it was one of them ones where I went out with the thing in my head. I was going, I'll be home for 7 o'clock.
They're always the worst.
Right? And then what happened was, I went in, Rory was there, Tom Clark was there giving out pizzas.
That's Tom Clark.
Right? And then people started arriving, and I think I had maybe 3 Guinness in the Empire, right? And then I went across the road to Town Square, and they gave me a pint that was this size.
I saw that.
So I was like King Brian with a pint.
Oh, Jesus.
Aye,
right,
I've
yes.
seen you and
Darby
Connor
O'Gill.
Keys.
And I went, so the guy came over and he went, Paddy, this is a present from you. And I
Oh,
was
is it?
like, everybody needs to take a drink of this. And then,
I must
and then the Protestants in the group are going, no, we can't drink it at the same glass. And I'm like,
I must show you the last.
What Protestants were in the room?
Alan
Dave and Alan.
I must.
Dave Allen.
I must show you. I wore this same suit then to a wedding I was at in Cork then, and then we went onto this wee bar. Then there was this wee man. He was just like dressed he was just like Darby O'Gill, and then I was like this here, and we get this photograph in Google of King Brian and me and him and this wee old man. I swear to God, it's
Yes.
the best photo to the two beside each other. I must send it to you. You'd love it. Paddy.
Dave took probably the best photo. He says it was the best photo he ever took, and it's me sitting with a pint in front of the fire in the 5 points, and the messages I've got from people going, "Where in Donegal's at?" And I'm like, "It was on the Dublin fucking road."
I seen Connor Keys that did you all just like sup the? It was just like your secret society. Then you passed your big bucket of Guinness round, or did you all get one each?
No, we passed it around.
You passed it round, or you didn't just drink one each.
No.
It was just like you want to send them like a big gallon bucket. They're all just.
Was it the mint
I'll
taste,
just
do you
bait it
reckon,
on
was in
them.
They said there was 15, but somebody says it's 8. So I am not fact checking it because I looked at it and went, I'm not going to drink all that. Right?
Right.
At that stage, then Connor Keys turned around to me and went, "You've already drank more than in that."
Yeah,
And I was like,
right.
"I haven't." And he went, "Dum dum 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 dum."
Only
And I
met
went,
Connor for the first time there the other night.
I did.
like,
They
I'm
wrote
going-
a boy for me and he was like, "Well, how's the head?" And I'm like, "I'm grand. She was only drinking stout." And he went, "No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't."
I was seeing all the photos when I was away, just seeing everyone out. I was fucking raging.
I
Do you
know,
know what?
same.
It was one of them nights. I've never been out on a night where there was no hassle.
Yeah,
I have been out nights out. There's always hassle. It mightn't come from the people you're with,
but it comes.
but it
Somewhere.
comes.
Yeah.
Like me and Andrew went on the thing. I got 4 pints over me. Do you know what I mean? I went out. I didn't get tortured. It was like just an easy night.
Yeah.
And then I came home.
It was a good night.
I came home and I was on the sofa, and Andrew came down the stairs and was like, "You going to bed?" And I went, "Rrr,"
No, and she went, no.
and left me there to my own devices.
Yeah.
It's if I do get that drunk, I won't go up the stairs.
That's very considerate. That's the only thing I ask. Like,
wait,
don't-
just
don't
in
come
case
up
she
with that.
just starts
Children
nagging
and
on
the
that,
wife,
does she?
No, that one, but not because of that. Just solely, I won't go up the stairs because I'll annoy people because I know I'm drunk.
Ach,
So I'm going, I go up, I'll be in and out of the toilet, I'll be, all that old shit. So I just lay on the sofa.
It'll be nearly like then you owe her one then the following day then for having to put up with you then.
Oh, what?
Aye, so
100%.
you do right,
So
do right.
just stay down the stairs
keep
about
the
a minute by
balance.
showed, yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
the
that's a
equilibrium.
secret to a
Plus,
happy marriage.
Plus, it's hard to get up them fucking stairs. When I get to the front door that drunk,
Yeah.
I sort of feel like I've achieved the
upper-
goal here.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
The
at the
finish
door.
line is just to go
operate.
the door. So whether you make it into the living room or not is just an extra achievement. Do you know what I mean? That's the podium. The sofa's the podium. You're on the podium. You've got the medal. You're home. You know you can close your eyes now because you've made it.
You
to
wake
where
up in the
need to
morning
be.
and go, Andrea,
Operate.
I pissed the podium.
Operation
I
Stairs
used to
does
get-
get considerably
I
more
used to get-
difficult.
I used to get to the stage where I didn't go home
Yeah.
because I'm a greedy fucker. And then I got to the stage where decision making and sense is out the window. So me staying out all night just seems like the right option. And then you would have woke up the next day and went,
4 or 5, aye.
fuck am I? And then, but I used to go home still going, but sure, it was only out in the night out. It was just like,
Yeah.
it's like not considering all our people. So it got to the stage where Andrew was like, right, here's the crack. And we installed it in my head that you had to be in by 2:30. The door got locked at 2:30, so you had to be in by 2:30. If you get in by 2:30, then you're good.
Aye. Otherwise
Nothing
you're-
good ever
otherwise
happens
you're out in
after
the
2
garden.
o'clock
So when
anyway.
I was out drinking, even when you start, because when you start early, like at 2 o'clock in the day, it can easily get away from me, right? And it worked. I used to be fucking totally fucking Polax, but I'd have crawled into a taxi at 1 o'clock to make sure I was in the house for 2:30. And I got to the stage where then I was coming home at a good hour,
Yeah.
even when I was drunk. So I trained myself to do it. And then now I would very
Habit.
rarely would I get to that stage. I hadn't been drinking for a long time, went to Ibiza and then got the taste of it again.
You've been trying to stay off it before you went there.
I wasn't drinking for about 6-7 months.
Jeez, the podcast must be going all right. I was on that was like £16 for €16 for a beer nearly.
I was buying a drink in the nightclub. It was 45 quid.
Oh, like
Fuck me.
Just for me.
probably a bargain at that.
Oh, at the time, I was banning them for people I didn't know. And they were happily taking them off me. They didn't even speak the language, but I knew they were saying, sucker!
I do that Queen for a day. I'm like, you get a drink and you get a drink.
I will make it rain. I will make it rain. It's as well. There's not strip clubs in Belfast because I'd make I would be paying the mortgage of all them strippers.
There will be in King Ruarí's Island.
And I'd be paying the fucking the president said.
So it's Patrick and Skian's nightclub.
I'd have Rory on the phone the next day going, Paddy, the health service budget seems to be missing. And I'm like, Big Veronica and thing needed an extension on their house there.
That dagger straps.
I love how this has went from user rewriting the Constitution to now you're just running a club together. I love this.
Oh, I do it. Oh, it does. Well, but it's equally relevant. The new Belfast will probably have strip clubs there, all right.
Fuck yeah, my vote.
We're sort of going back. We're sort of going back to the pagan times, aren't we?
Like more natural, like.
We have a few questions there on the Patreon. Will we continue the conversation over there?
I think so.
Yeah,
you stay for the Patreon.
Has this been going live?
No.
The look of fear!
You know what? You look like
saw the election
me.
go out the window.
That was the look I got when I used to turn up next morning from a night out and go, shit, it's that look on you like, oh no.
I feel electric when you go.